Let's stay with borrowing, shall we? Set up an independent debt management authority to rescue the country from a looming collapse. This was Mudavadi's message to President Uhuru Kenyatta during what the ANC party leader termed as his State of the Nation address ahead of Saturday's Madaraka Day national celebrations in the county of Narok. Incidentally, this is not Mudavadi's first warning to the state of debt and corruption. Is anybody listening? KTN political reporter Moremi Mwangi interrogates Mudavadi's self-styled de facto opposition leader role and explains why some critics of the former vice president are skeptical of what they call soft government oversight.
It is only days to this year's Madaraka Day celebrations happening in Narok County. But before then, ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi, the self-declared de facto opposition leader, spoke to the nation from his Nairobi's Riverside office on what he called his State of the Nation address.
Our country seems to be in a free fall at the behest of robber barons that have invaded government.
And for the 18th time, Mudavadi revisited the nagging headache of Kenya's ballooning national debt, now threatening to hit the 6 trillion shillings mark. A predicament the one-time finance minister blames on what he calls a series of lies from none other than President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Do you know what the Kenyan debt is?
Yes.
What is it?
As I said.
What is it?
Right now, some figures at 4.5 trillion shillings.
Don't talk about, I said, as a percentage of GDP. Talk like an economist.
56% of GDP.
Of GDP?
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
What is Japan's debt?
I'm not in Japan, so I'm not concerned about
Japan's
Japan.
debt is over 100% of their GDP.
When we asked the government to publish the country's debt portfolio, they give us a deaf ear. How long will this reckless borrowing without accountability go on?
I have almost 60% of the Republic of Kenya connected to power. My friend, for those kind of reasons, I will borrow.
Earlier this month, Kenyatta made good his promise as the country sealed a 220 billion shillings new Eurobond deal to be repaid in 2 phases of 7 and 12 years to finance unspecified development infrastructure projects, support budget expenditure, and refinance 75 billion shillings from the first Eurobond of 2014, whose repayment is due late June. This amid reports that Kenya is eyeing an additional 75 billion shillings loan from the World Bank. This and other prevailing queries on the status of the Kenyan economy, Mudavadi says necessitates establishment of an independent national debt management authority through parliament to rescue the economy from imminent collapse.
The Chinese government shied away from extending a similar program like the SGR one to Kisumu. That was a signal that clearly even our creditors are beginning to evaluate our books.
Call him consistent in his messaging or perhaps passionate about matters Kenyan economy, but with his warnings seemingly falling on deaf ears among government technocrats, Mudavadi might soon have to change tact as he steers the national debt debate. Moremi Mwangi, KTN News in Nairobi.